Okay, Mosport Park update for the new season. Track is 20 degrees, so it's pretty fast track. It's lap 16, so tires are pretty hot. Go through the corners in slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. If you see something you like, leave a comment, or something you don't like, leave a comment, or if you can tell me something better, leave a comment. So coming up to turn one here, just sort of over the hill, I lift a little bit. I'm going to sacrifice 5, 6, 7 hundredths of a second by lifting, but I'm not going to crash. And the important thing is to set yourself up for turn 2, because you can lose a lot more time there. So just hugging that inside curb. Some people go over it. I find it unsettles the car, just makes it too unpredictable. Coming out here, getting on the throttle early, full throttle. So it's important to get over to the right hand side, to really get over to the right hand side. If you're mid-track, you're going to lose a lot of speed. And just as you're approaching this blue, the crest of the ridge, and you see this blue thing, little dab of brakes just to load up the front end a little bit, scrub a little speed so you can get on the power early. And you want to get real tucked inside this left here, aiming for this little notch in the track and holding the inside line tight as you can. You may have to feather the throttle a little bit if the tires are cold, but full throttle if you've done it right. And really hug the inside here. If you're wide, you're going to scrub speed and lose time. This corner you can really lose a lot of time on. Even if you didn't screw it up, you can scrub speed, and it costs you a lot. And then turn 3, another important one where you can really lose a lot of time. So there's no good braking marker, but there's a little sort of notch here in the track, and I use that as the braking point. Down into third, bit of brakes. You don't want to carry too much speed on the entry, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of time getting in tight for a late apex. And don't touch the curb, but get in tight, and as soon as you start to feel the back end grip, easing on the throttle, and then shifting up to fourth pretty early here, and just letting the car straighten the car out and just let it run out. Try not to scrub any speed. Out to the left. And then setting up for this corner, sort of the middle of this sign, up into 5th gear. But you don't want to get too close to the left here. The track sort of dips in and it can pull you in and lose your back end. And you do not want to touch these curbs, or this curb on the left. It is deadly. So 5th gear, and basically heading for this black patch. I don't like to go too far to the left, but just the tire patch up here. Getting on the brake, shifting down from 5 to 4. Coming up to this curb, shifting into 2nd. And then shifting to 1st here at the end of that curb. Giving it some gas. People do this in 2nd. I find 1st just helps the car rotate and getting on the power early. And try and stay off this curb. I think I clip it a little bit. You can use this outside curb if you need to. This little dip up here I find doesn't do too much scrubbing of speed, but try to avoid it. And just hug the inside. And this is a big long stretch. No real strategy here other than people drafting on you. Try and work together, and that'll give you better lap times. So coming up here, this power pole, the second one, here I'm going to lift just so I'm not scrubbing too much speed in fifth gear. Lining up with this curb and riding the inside, and then shifting down to fourth, right about there. Holding the line tight against this curb as well. Again, these last two corners you can lose a lot of time by scrubbing speed if you come in too hot. So staying to the right hand side so you open up the next corner. Shifting down to third, a dab of brake just to load the front end up. And easing on the throttle. And trying to keep it tight to the left so you can open up the next one. It's easy to lose 3, 4, 5 tenths through these two corners if you overdrive it. And again, just a dab of brake. It's a late apex. And getting on the throttle, easing it on. And try stay off that curb because it'll push you wide. And just straight lining it, trying to minimize the wheel turn. And there you go.